Hello everyone and welcome back to another Touchdowns to Home Runs. I'm your host Noah, and Tom Brady just officially signed with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I know I made a video a couple hours ago about him signing, but that was just reports and I just wanted to get the video out there and talk about that. But he's officially signed to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers now, and it's coronavirus. There's no sports going on right now, and the NFL is just blown the sports world up with all these free agents and everything just signing and all the trades. Absolutely amazing. And then of course the big free agent Tom Brady signs today, and I just wanted to go through and talk about, can the Buccaneers win a Super Bowl with Tom Brady? Just 1 second before we get started on the video, go subscribe to our friend Twisted Wrister Hockey. So the best hockey content out there, guys, and just content in general, sports content, anything about sports. You guys will love this guy, so do not forget to subscribe to him. So starting off, I just want to talk about the team a bit. So they obviously replaced Jameis Winston, a guy who threw 30 plus interceptions last year, which is not good. That's not the kind of quarterback you want on your team. Tom Brady, 6-time Super Bowl champion, the greatest quarterback of all time. He is not going to throw 30 interceptions. That's something that Tampa Bay fans should be extremely excited about. But now Tom Brady, unlike last year for the Patriots, Tom Brady actually has receivers. Mike Evans, one of the best receivers in the game, top 5 guy for sure. Then Chris Godwin, a guy who came out of nowhere last year, had a huge season. OJ Howard, a big tight end. Rashad Perriman's still there. I know they got Ronald Jones as their running back. If I'm Tampa, I am looking at trying to draft a running back in the draft this year. You got guys like JK out there, Jonathan Taylor, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, DeAndre Swift, a bunch of those guys. I know they had the 45th pick. That's around the pick that they would try to target one of those guys. So yeah, try to work on the running back spot to just add that more weapon to Brady. And then their defense is still good. They got Devin White. I love Devin White, linebacker out of LSU. I loved watching him in college. He was just a baller. He is such a good linebacker. Vita Vea, Jason Pierre-Paul, Shaq Barrett, they just signed him back. I don't know what's going on with Ndamukong Suh. But again, that defense is solid. That's a solid defense, a very underrated defense in the NFL, especially. That was just because it's kind of a whole Bears situation. I'm a huge Bears fan. The Bears defense was not as good as last year because the offense was just either 3 or out or turnover, and the defense literally just got off the field and they're forced to going back on. That's the same thing with the Buccaneers, because you have Winston throwing 30 interceptions. That's an average of about 2 a game. When the offense, when your defense literally just gets off the field, then they're forced to get back on. That just tires them out, and that's probably why this Tampa Bay defense has been underrated. Now I want to look at them in 3 ways, division-wise, how they're going to do against their division, how they're going to do against the conference, and then how they're going to pair up with the stronger teams of the AFC. So the teams that scare me in their division, there aren't really any right now. I am a big Panthers fan too, but the Bears are still my favorite team. I love the Panthers. Sadly, we're parting ways with my guy Cam Newton. One of my favorite players, top 3 players. My top 3 players are Cam Newton, Jadeveon Clowney, and Deebo Samuel. I love those guys. They're parting ways with Cam Newton. Hopefully Cam Newton goes to the Bears, man. If that happens, I would be so happy. I'm waiting for that to happen so I can make a video on that. But yeah, going back to the division, the Panthers don't scare me if I'm a Buccaneers fan right now. They've come out that they want to tank for Trevor Lawrence next year. They just signed Teddy Bridgewater, though, so that might change how that all shapes up. Teddy Bridgewater is a great quarterback. Obviously, McCaffrey is the best running back in the league, and then you got DJ Moore, one of the better wide receivers, especially last year. Like, he was in the receiving leaderboard for a bit last year. I love all those guys. I just don't see the Panthers as being a threat in the NFC South this year. The Falcons, they got rid of Hooper. They replaced him with Hayden Hurst, another Gamecock I love. The Gamecocks are my favorite team in all of sports. I'm a huge Gamecocks fan, so I had to share some love to my guy Hayden Hurst. The Falcons, they got the receivers, they got the offense. They just also don't seem like that big of a threat to me. They started off slow last year and they picked it up a bit at the end, but it wasn't enough to make the playoffs. I still think the Buccaneers now especially have the edge over them. And then who else? The Saints, the last team. The Saints aren't a team who scares me anymore. Just after that playoff game against the Vikings, that just declined them so much. Like, no one thinks of them as one of the top teams in the NFC anymore after that. And I don't see them as a threat either. They just signed Breeze back, but like, really, when you have them away from their home stadium, I know they're playing at home, that's a huge advantage for them. But I don't see them as a threat. I see them as a completely beatable team if you are the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now going up to conference-wise, the teams that you had there, obviously the 49ers are going to be up there. That's a strong defense led by Nick Bosa. And then that offense, if the 49ers can get their offensive scheme down, like obviously you saw it in the second half of the Super Bowl, that's what killed them. They stopped throwing to my guy Deebo Samuel. And just after that, there was no offensive scheme after that. It was just run the ball. There was no pass attack or anything like that. If the 49ers really nail that down, they're going to be a really, really good team next year. Seahawks, of course, are up there. I know I'm going to sound crazy on this one, but the Bears, if the Bears get a quarterback, I'm telling you, it's the same situation with the Buccaneers. You guys just got a quarterback, and now you guys are looking like one of the better teams in the NFL. If the Bears get a good quarterback, Cam Newton, or if somehow we trade for a draft pick this year, if we get Joe Burrow, oh my gosh, I'd lose my mind, but it's not going to happen. But I'm telling you, if the Bears get a good quarterback, we are going to be a good team next year. And then the Packers also too, they had a strong year last year, and you could never doubt them. The NFC East doesn't scare me. Like, no one on the Cowboys don't really scare me. I know they just signed back Amari Cooper. They lost Byron Jones though. Yeah, just also the Bears signed Robert Quinn, which I'm also really excited about from the Cowboys. But yeah, NFC wise, there are really only two teams that I see being a huge threat to the Buccaneers, and that's the 49ers and the Seahawks. Maybe not even the Seahawks as a huge threat. Probably just the 49ers right now. Like, I don't see the NFC as being as strong this year as they were last year. Last year, they were a juggernaut. But the AFC has really caught on, led by Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes, which is going to get into my next thing. How are the Buccaneers going to pair up against the AFC? Starting off with the Patrick Mahomes-led Chiefs. Obviously, the Chiefs have the slight offensive advantage in this one. Just that offense, their receivers, their quarterback, Patrick Mahomes. That team is insane. Just speed and everything with that team. But honestly, tell me, what about the Chiefs' defense makes them better than the Buccaneers' defense? Like, I don't see the Chiefs' defense being anything special or anything better than the Buccaneers' defense. And the Chiefs just won a Super Bowl. I know I said I'd give the slight advantage to the Chiefs offensive-wise, but if the Chiefs could have won a Super Bowl with that defense, there's no doubt in my mind that this defense is, for Tampa Bay, is ready to win a Super Bowl. I know that took a while for me to get out, but I got it out. So yeah, like, there's nothing about that defense that is throwing up red flags that, like, oh no, they're not a Super Bowl ready team, they're not a playoff ready team. I think that defense is ready. They just need to have the rest in between possessions and not just keep constantly going back out there. The Ravens are a team with a really good defense. I have the Ravens being a very good team next year. I know they stumbled against the Titans last year. But like, still, that Ravens team, if Lamar, you just take out that one game, if the Ravens play like they did for the whole season, except for that one Titans game, they probably win the Super Bowl. Like, that team was lights out. It's just so hard to scheme against that offense and that defense with, like, Marlon Humphrey. Who else do they got there? Who's their other cornerback? Oh, this is gonna kill me. Shoot, I forget, but yeah, that team is so legit. They're so good, and if anyone's gonna stop the Buccaneers from winning a Super Bowl, I have the Ravens or the Chiefs. They're the two teams standing in the way of the Buccaneers. Do I think that there is a possibility of the Buccaneers winning the Super Bowl. Absolutely. I believe that they can win a Super Bowl. Would I pick them as my favorite right now? Probably not. I think that'd still go to the Ravens, but who knows? The season hasn't started yet. Like, we're still a bunch of months away from the start of the season. Still lots of free agency to go. This could all change. But the Buccaneers are definitely a team to watch out for this season. Thank you for watching this video, guys. If you haven't already, like, comment, and subscribe. Bernie, the other person on this channel, just made a Tampa Bay Buccaneers hype video with Tom Brady. So if you're a Buccaneers fan, I know you want to watch that. So go watch that. Click into our channel. Subscribe if you love football, because that's all. We talk about all sports here, but we love football on this channel. If you love football, you definitely got to subscribe. But other than that, thanks for watching. Come back next time.